Alrighty, what's up, everyone? Um, I'm back again after my Uber Atziri death about 4 days ago that I uploaded. So, back with another Templar, as you can see. Um, it's also totems. It's Flameblast totems. This build is pretty unique and it's pretty cool. So, unfortunately, it is pretty expensive. However, I still want to kind of showcase it and kind of show it off here. So pretty much this build I made this build myself. I didn't really find any guide for this at all, so I actually kind of pretty much structured the tree. I kind of picked from a couple different build guides, but I kind of put this tree together myself and put these items together generally myself. I mean, the combinations are kind of known, but well, not as much for this one. But anyways, so what this build revolves around is using Soul Mantle here with Coward's Legacy and Atziri's Reflection. Most people know the interaction between Soul Mantle and Atziri's Reflection. Obviously, if you have Atziri's Reflection, you pretty much nullify the negative effect of Soul Mantle. So that's kind of the main interaction here. And then obviously having the self-flagellation, this gives you a heap of added increased damage. But I'm also using Coward's Legacy to give me low life while I'm cursed with vulnerability. So I'm always cursed with vulnerability. It never comes off. As you can see, I'm still cursed even when I'm in my hideout right now. And essentially what this allows me to do is allows me to be CI and low life at the same time. So it's pretty neat. So in my tree, I am actually spec'd into both Pain Attunement and Chaos Inoculation at the same time. Probably one of the only characters in all of Hardcore Incursion that has both of these keystones at once. I would probably venture to guess. So yeah, so the Pain Attunement gives me 30% more spell damage. That's pretty much the main purpose of wearing Coward's Legacy. Yeah, it's just a pretty strong combination. The rest of my gear is essentially pretty standard, just totem Flameblast gear. I am CI. I decided not to go life just because Soul Mantle doesn't have life, Coward's Legacy doesn't have life, and neither does Atziri's Reflection. So I decided to make this a CI character, and Hybrid also didn't work out again just because I have barely any life on any of this gear. Well, actually, I don't have any life at all. But even on the rares, it wouldn't be enough life to really sustain hybrid. So went with that. The shield unfortunately is pretty expensive. It's actually I think roughly right now listed on Hardcore Incursion. I think there's only one online right now for about 100 exalts. I don't personally think it's worth that much. Near the beginning of the league, there was actually about 3 prophecies listed, and I ended up buying one of them for 21 exalts. Now there's none. I guess they all got bought out, and I would guess that they are now a lot more expensive. So yeah, I'll just kind of go over the build here. So essentially it's a crit flame blast. It's pretty standard stuff. I decided to go with Sanctuary of Thought over Conviction of Power just because just getting the power charges, power charge generation, I feel like wasn't worth losing all the maximum mana and the 10% less mana reservation. My power charge generation is a little clunky. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just using Blade Vortex with cast on damage taken, power charge on crit, and I just put it through in a blind there. But it lets me get my shield a little more hefty. Without this, I think I'd only be at around 6k, which is a little low. And I'm in hardcore. If you were in softcore, you could probably drop Sanctuary of Thought and just pick up a Conviction of Power and put something else in your 4-link here. It'd be a little more squishy though, and I'm trying to stay alive because I don't want to lose the shield. Otherwise, if I do die, I'm probably going to be done with this league because I'm pretty broke now. So I'm just going to run. I just already have a bog here. So essentially, I queue up all these, and my damage goes up pretty quick. So as you can see, I'm at 5 totems with the Soul Mantle, of course. And yeah, it's just a lot of damage. So let's try it out. It's a pretty cool build. I'm also just self-casting Flammability. Basically, again, just stacking cast speed like any standard Flame Blast character would. And you can also, you don't necessarily have to even use Flameblast. You could really just use whatever you want. I feel like the cast speed has gotten slower though, I don't know. I feel like the cast speed of Flameblast used to be faster, and I'm at 170% cast speed right now, so it's yeah. Felt like last time I played it, it was a lot quicker. I don't know why these guys aren't dying. There we go. Okay. So yeah, if you get your hands on an Atziri's Reflection, pretty much, this is the one really big benefit to the shield, is you can pretty much take advantage of these two items, and it makes for a pretty cool build. And my power charge generation seems to be somewhat sustained, although it is at times inconsistent. So yeah, that's basically the build there. I don't think there's anything else notable that I really wanted to showcase. Yeah, just standard crit. Pretty much for Jules, just going for damage, cast speed, and maybe some maximum energy shield. I think what I'm actually going to do is I might drop one of my damage jewels and go for the energy from within melding here. Just get a little more shield, maybe go up to 8k. But yeah, that's the rest of the build. The rest is just rares. I managed to just essence this pretty decent dagger here, spell dagger. Pretty standard rings, just resists, max ES, cast speed on my neck. I'm using a vertex just so I have a level 3 enlighten and potentially even a level 4 once I can afford it. Just angering Herald of Ash, anger Herald of Ash, and discipline. Just using Sintrek because it's a lot of energy shield. Also, good movement speed. So, yeah. Atziri's Promise, Wise Oak. Just make sure your fire is the highest, which actually right now my fire isn't. So I actually need to fix that. Okay, well that's something I need to do right now then. And yeah, that's basically the build. So, hope you guys enjoy it and try it out if you get your hands on one of these shields.